as part of the circus skills, you've been potentially looking at balance boards, tightrope walking, and kind of learning how you would actually go about doing it. So if you're on a balance board, obviously, if you lean one way, you start to kind of fall off, so you instantly move the other way. But if you don't do it in a controlled fashion, if you're not careful with it, all of a sudden you'll fall off that way, even though you were originally going that way. So you've kind of got to keep this motion going, but you've got to kind of keep yourself steady. And we actually use the exact same principle when we're controlling a satellite. So if we've got a satellite in orbit around the Earth and we want to point it towards the Earth, so we've got a camera that we want to take pictures of the jungle or seas, what we do is, if it starts to move one way, we use the exact same principles you were potentially using on the balance board, where if it starts to move one way, we start rotating a big mass the other direction. So it's almost as if you're on the balance board and you're doing that, then all of a sudden you start doing that, you suddenly want to move everything this way to balance over the other side. We do the exact same thing in a satellite, where if the satellite starts to rotate one direction, we spin up a big heavy wheel in the other direction and the satellite starts moving that direction. Now, if we overshoot, we spin up a big wheel in the other direction and we sit there, and what happens is we get the exact same motion in the satellite, where we start rotating backwards and forwards until we're steady again. And that's the exact same principles you're doing on the tightrope or the balance board, where if you're going one direction, you start trying to move the other direction, and then if you overshoot, you kind of start moving the other direction. And it's the exact same principle that we use to control satellites in space. So whenever you see a satellite and it's slowly moving, you're able to say, oh, that's me on a balance board. If it goes too far one direction, I can flip the other way. If I go too far the other way, I flip the other way. But you've got to do it slow and steady on a satellite, because if you don't, what happens is the satellite just starts turning. And if you miss, if you start turning one direction, bring on the mast to help you turn the other way, but you don't stop it in time, the satellite just starts spinning and it can spin out of control and you lose it and you can't recover it. At least with the balance board, you're just going to fall on the ground. With a satellite, the fall's a wee bit further.